1995 playwriting, the award for the Robert J. Pickering Playwriting Excellence Award. This is the 11th year of our productions, and I could regale you with my brilliance of going over all the things we've done and how it's been important, but I think it's all pretty much contained in the program. In the program, as well as a list of the kind persons who've assisted us in making this production possible. Some people whose names were omitted, however, because of the time constraints in printing are Wilbur's Furniture, Shovels Carpeting, and Taylor Office Supplies. The importance of these people, and we can't urge it upon you enough to patronize them, is that they're the ones who give in to our begging when we tell them we need something for our production. It helps us put on a quality show, it helps us dress the stage and make it look good, and it helps us keep the tickets at $5 a piece as well. This is the 11th year when I've been called upon to give a curtain speech like this, and they get kind of boring, so you wonder what you can say and what you can talk about. So I thought I'd make this year's a learning experience for you. So I did some research the other day, went to the library and looked it up, and historically, in the mid-17th century, on Ox Route 12 between London and Stratford, in the town of Cold River, there was a small theater company who people saw fit to put on original productions. And one of the persons who submitted was a fellow who was unknown at that time by the name of W. Shakespeare, submitted a show and they were able to produce it. It's the first time he's ever produced. And as you might expect, he went on to some fame in his country and ours under the name of Bacon, but nonetheless he had been published and was reasonably well received. But the importance of that to you folks is that last year, at Sotheby's, at one of the auctions in England, an original program from that community theater that did the original Shakespeare show was found and was auctioned off for several thousands of dollars. So, the program you have in your hand tonight, based upon that precedent, when this show becomes famous and goes on to be played in Broadway, may very well be worth something. So, if all of you say, well, maybe it'll be diluted, but if one of you were to collect them all from everybody else, it might turn out to be a pretty valuable asset. With that, I'm going to leave you in a mythical country set north of Detroit for what we think is a very, very funny experience. This one's for you, Bob.
Oh. If I can just get this thing working. Damn! Ah! Oh!
Did you know statistics show people are more willing to accept higher prices on imported goods because they think it's the other country's fault?
Black!
If we could just apply that reasoning to increase the general service tax.
Black!
Minister,
Help!
where are you, sir? What are you doing up there?
Get me down!
Of course, Minister. Right away. How exactly would you like me to go about that, sir?
Quickly!
Yes, of course, quickly. I could go for help, but there's no telling how long that might take. Or I could climb up there with you. But if you lost your balance and fell and broke your leg, then there would be no one to get me down.
Black!
But yes, Minister, what is it?
Get me down now!
Now, yes, of course. I have another idea, sir, if you'd want to hear it. It may not work, but then again it might. It's not that I don't have confidence, but as my wife keeps telling me, I misjudge situations.
Black!
I guess I've always been like that, misjudging situations.
Now!
Now, of course. Yes, Minister. Right away. Now, don't move, sir. Did you say something, Minister? I am hurrying, although it may not seem like it, because each person sees the passage of time at a different speed, factoring in the variables of age, weight, the weather. It's hot in here, isn't it, sir? There, that's as I was saying. Maybe we'd better get you down first. Now, sir, if you could just swing to the right. No, sir, that's my right. You went to your right. What I want you to do is go to your left and my right. Do you have that, sir? My right and your left. Good. Now let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, to my right. That's right. Now, lift your arms.
Oh, yes.
And I'll be able to unravel you. There. Now a little to the left. Good. Now lift both your arms. Step down. There. See how easy that was? You shouldn't have attempted that sort of thing in the ministry itself, sir. Are you all right, Minister?
No, you idiot. I almost killed myself.
And if I might say, with little regard to the amount of paperwork that would have generated. F792 alone takes 3 hours to complete. M605 is almost impossible to understand now that it's been translated from one official language to the other by a department full of people who don't speak either one. And H/403.
Block.
Yes, Minister.
Call maintenance and get a new fan.
But what about your suicide, sir?
Now, Block, before I requisition S/306.
But that's for homicide. Yes, I see what you mean.
One moment, please. Come in. May I help you, madam? Madam, what is it that I might do for you?
Oh, no one wants my husband, not his mother, his sisters, or his brothers, so you can see why I had to come here. I have nowhere else to turn. You just have to take him.
If it's a government job he's looking for, he'll have to apply in person at the Ministry of Employment between the hours of 9 and 5, Mondays through Fridays, except on holidays, when he can file Form A55, which is available at the Bureau of Written Request, 3rd floor, Tuesdays and Thursdays from noon to 5. Is that clear, madam?
He's dead.
Who's dead?
My husband.
Then why is he applying for a job?
He's not applying for a job.
Then why are you here?
I want him buried.
Have you had him examined?
No,
No. Your husband is dead and you haven't had him examined?
I didn't know I had to.
It's the law.
Oh, I don't want to break the law.
Well, then have him examined, and when that's done, come back here, and I'll issue a permit to have him buried.
Just what should I have him examined for?
To see if he's dead.
But I know that he's dead.
Are you a doctor?
No.
Then you can't know if your husband is dead.
Well, he hasn't eaten in 2 months. He's white as a sheet, and he doesn't move a muscle.
That may well be. But he must be examined by a qualified physician first, before interning.
But he isn't breathing.
That may well be, but he must be examined first.
I don't have the money for a doctor.
All doctors are paid by the government.
Yes, but they always ask for more, and I don't have any more.
Madam, by not having him examined, you deprive someone of their livelihood, and the government of the taxes on that livelihood.
Well, perhaps I could save a little out of my husband's monthly death benefit check.
You can't get that until he's been buried. And for that, you need a permit. And I can't give you that permit until he's been examined.
But he's starting to smell.
Badly?
No, not badly, but it's only a matter of time.
Well, then I suggest you go home and start saving your money now. Oh.
I'm not leaving here until you help me.
Madam, I would give you that permit this minute, if only to get you out of my office. But I can't. Madam, it's no secret that the government wants to get all the money it can get its hands on.
That's right.
And that it'll stop at nothing to get it. And tax everything, alive or dead, to get it. But even the government stops short of burying people who are still living. Madam, if you don't leave this office this minute, I'll be forced to call someone. Oh, Block, get in here.
Yes, Minister.
Remove this woman. Gently, Block. She may be a conservative. What party do you vote, dear lady?
Liberal, of course.
Remove her, Block, quickly.
This way, madam.
Hello? Hello there?
Who's that?
A window washer.
I can see that. I mean, who is that?
Who are you? A humble window washer. But I sense a problem here, and I think I have a solution. You see, before I took up window washing, I was a qualified doctor who specialized in examining people thought to be dead. This included a president of a foreign country who slept through cabinet meetings, and a queen who hasn't changed her expression in 40 years.
Well, my husband's dead.
Not without a certificate.
I can rectify that.
Oh, and you can examine my husband?
Yes.
Oh,
And are you qualified to certify?
Yes, and what's more, I'll do it for what the government pays me, making it therefore an act of charity and tax deductible.
oh, thank you, doctor.
And if you find that he's actually dead, you can register him as such.
And no.
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 No, what?
No, I'm outside my province.
Oh, what am I to do?
This way, madam.
No,
If you don't leave this minute, I'll be forced to call for outside help.
I will not leave here until you give me a permit.
You'll regret this, madam, I assure you.
Do you know for certain that this woman isn't wired with an explosive device?
What?
Have you ever seen her before today?
Of course not.
Then how do you know she doesn't have sufficient nitro to blow this entire ministry to kingdom come?
I don't. Do you, madam?
Don't answer that. Any statement forcefully extracted from a suspect
A suspect.
I never laid a hand on her.
without benefit of counsel will never hold up in court.
Court.
But then all that might be moot if the story about her husband being dead is merely a ruse to get in here and plant a bomb.
Bomb! Take cover!
Have you a bomb, madam?
Do you think she'd tell you if she did?
Well, she is a liberal.
There it is then.
Oh, my dear madam, the government is ready and willing to come to the aid of every citizen, no matter what their voting persuasion, and help them out in their hour of greatest need to the best of its ability. Block, get up and help this woman.
Are you sure, Minister? Maybe we should wait until after lunch when there'll be more help available.
My assistant will give the good doctor a pre-approved application to examine your husband, and thus allowing him to you to bury him without further delay. Would that be satisfactory, madam?
Well, I guess so.
Block, get up and give this man a form so this kind woman can be about her business and gone.
That'll be TR/431.
I'm afraid I can't fill out form TR/431.
Why not? Block, see what that is. You were saying why you can't fill out the form TR/431?
What'd you say?
The form. Why can't you fill out the form?
Who's there?
Yes, it is a little warm.
You must stop that pounding.
Not warm, form. Block, what's going on out there?
They won't stop pounding on the door long enough for me to hear who it is.
Then open it and find out.
I'm not all that sure that's such a good idea, Minister. It might be someone we don't want in here.
I already have people I don't want in here.
Oh, you must help me. It's a matter of life and death.
Get up, woman!
Get that woman to her feet.
I'm trying, but she doesn't want to move.
I want to stay at your feet, Minister, until doomsday if necessary.
That's the minister.
At your feet, Minister, until doomsday.
Get up, woman.
Not until I'm forgiven.
I forgive you. Get up.
I need clerical forgiveness.
I can't give that.
I can.
Forgive me, Father, for my sin.
I thought you were a doctor.
He's a window washer.
You're not a cleric.
I was a cleric before I was a doctor.
I'm confused.
What have you done that you need to repent?
I killed a man.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. Have you had him examined? It didn't lie. Ha!
Who did you kill?
I don't know.
Do you usually go around killing people you don't know, or was this a spur of the moment thing?
The point here is that woman killed someone.
But is she absolutely sure? Evidence must be gathered before guilt is assumed.
I was driving home from class when I heard a thump. And when I stopped and looked back, he was lying in the middle of the street.
Sounds proven to me. I'll call Metro.
Wait,
Why?
you need facts.
The woman admitted to hitting a man with her car. That's enough fact. I'll call Metro.
Wait,
What?
they're going to want details. How it happened.
We know how it happened.
Where it happened. Where did it happen?
Right out front.
There are police out front. Didn't they fill out a report?
They thought that since this was a government building, and that was probably a government person I mowed down,
Allegedly mowed down.
allegedly mowed down, that something would be arranged.
Are you offering a bribe?
Not necessarily.
Bribes are not accepted.
Oh, but donations are. How much do you have?
Wait a minute. Did you actually see yourself hit the man?
No.
Aha!
What do you mean? Aha!
And you know for a fact that the man is actually dead.
He wasn't moving. Ha! That doesn't seem to matter.
And you don't know for sure that he was a man.
What?
It could have been a woman dressed in men's clothing.
Why would she do that?
To get higher wages.
The person was wearing a long black robe with a white collar and a wig.
So, you either hit a federal court judge or a bald nun.
In either case, a form has to be filed. Did you file a form?
First, she must have him examined.
Or her.
Or maybe I didn't kill anyone.
A case can be made either way.
How do you know?
Before I was a cleric, I was a lawyer.
Then you're not a doctor?
He just said he was a clerk.
After he was a lawyer.
I'm confused. It will pass. I invoked sanctuary.
In my office, impassable.
He's a cleric. He can do it.
Not actually. I'm outside my diocese.
I have the form.
But what about my husband? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shout, but the stress of dragging him everywhere is really getting to me.
You have him with you?
I left him outside. The man at the front desk would not let me bring him in. Why not? He's dead. Are you sure? Well, I'm not sure, but he is stiff and he has this glazed over expression on his face. But you know, since I haven't had him examined yet, I really just don't know for sure. The deans at the university get that way sometimes, but then they just pop right back up again. Oh.
I had a great ad like that. Too much, Sherry.
Block.
Yes, Minister.
No.
How do you move him from place to place, being stiff and all?
In his truck. Oh, you can see it from here if you lean over the railing. Oh, my husband was an ice cream man. Oh, the children would just run after his truck whenever he jingled the bells, and he knew every child by name and which flavors they liked best. Little Jimmy Webster only wanted orange creamsicles, and Tiffany Fowler, she used to send her nanny downstairs. She only wanted chocolate fudge ripple dipped in malted milk chocolate. Look, Alexander never actually saw Tiffany, of course, but he did always remember that she only ate chocolate.
Well, what about your husband?
Oh, he liked vanilla.
Oh.
Oh, he was a simple man. A man who never really wanted much out of life except to make other people happy. And since he died, nobody wanted him, and I haven't been able to get him buried.
So
and
you stored him in the truck.
Stiff as a popsicle.
Do you have a permit for freezing your husband?
Do I need one?
Well, I don't know. The situation never came up before.
Oh, please, couldn't you make an exception? It's not like he's bothering anyone, and the only time he starts to smell is when the freezing unit goes out and he starts to melt. But if I get it charged up again...
Where did you say you have your dead husband parked?
Out in front, in the blue zone.
That's a handicap area. Do you have a handicap permit?
No. But I'm sure as I get him examined, they're going to give me one. I mean, his being dead and all, and my having to drive him around and everything.
I'll have to check the classification index to see whether or not dead is listed as an officially sanctioned handicap. If it is, you can submit an application at the Ministry of Parking Permits.
Where do I get that application?
At the Ministry of Written Requests, but they're closed today for the holiday.
What holiday?
No one really knows. The Ministry of Holidays creates them in accordance with our neighboring country. Whenever they have one, we do too. Only we call it something else, and no one ever knows what it's for.
Well, how long is all it's going to take to get this permit? It costs a lot to keep that freezing unit going all the time.
Have you thought about leaving him with a neighbor when you go out? Maybe one of them has a freezer you could put him in on sort of a part-time basis. He probably wouldn't even take up more than a couple dozen chickens if you fold him first.
Oh, I've already tried that. Nobody wants, and nobody really wants to make a commitment. Dead people are very difficult to leave places.
I think I have a solution. Now, if I didn't catch your name.
Mrs. Weberhauser.
If Miss Weberhauser were to file a statement that she killed Mrs.
Goland?
and Mrs. Goland's husband, then
What's
we
your
could make
first
it...
name?
Well, that's I don't remember. It's been Mrs. Goland for so long, I don't remember what my name was before. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter. My mail all comes to Mrs. Goland. My charge cards say Mrs. Goland. Everybody calls me Mrs. Goland.
But don't you wonder who you were before?
Well, actually, it might be rather confusing to be somebody else after all these years. I mean, just what if I were crossing the street and a truck ran a red light and someone were to shout out, "Watch out, Mary Lacey!" I wouldn't know who they were talking about and I would get run over by the truck. As it is, someone yells out, "Watch out, Mrs. Goland!" I know exactly who they mean. Yes, it could be very dangerous to be somebody else at this late date in life.
I see what you mean.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I believe I have formulated the foundation of your case against the province.
What case?
If we're not finding you sooner, you're unquestionably a homo absens
What?
with possible felonious premeditation perpetrated upon you by parties heretofore unknown. An area I specialize in.
What does all of that mean?
But you're a missing person.
I'm not missing. I'm right here.
There could be bank accounts all over the country under your other name.
But I don't know. I mean, I've never traveled.
Wills naming you as the sole beneficiary.
And I don't know people with money.
Overpaid taxes?
Oh, you mean money the government owes to me?
Give back taxes?
Hundreds, maybe even thousands. But of course, there'd be depositions to take, appeals, injunctions,
Well,
cross-injunctions.
How long would all of that take?
It's hard to say. But when there's room on the docket, I'll take your case immediately.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can we get back to me?
Oh, yes.
Sooner or later, somebody's going to notice the guy in the long black robe. He's blocking traffic down there.
Certainly, except I don't have my legal books with me. I'm afraid all I brought today was a bucket and squeegee.
Then how can I be sure you're a real lawyer?
Are you questioning my status in the legal community?
It's not every day you find a lawyer washing windows.
That's right.
These are hard times. This being the 14th year of the 6-month recession.
Ah.
Yesterday, I saw a judge bussing tables. A Superior Court judge, no less.
Oh.
And what was he reduced to doing? Working for tips on a truck stop.
Poor man.
I'm one of the lucky ones, Miss Weberhauser. I have trades to fall back on.
Was he really a judge?
If I told you his name, you'd recognize it immediately.
Oh.
Where exactly are your legal books?
In the keeping of a well-known businessman, safely stored at his establishment with the reference libraries of some of the finest legal minds of this country. Retrievable with the merest exchange of a receipt.
They're in a pawn shop.
Oh, dear.
Yes, it's true that at this moment I'm at liberty from the profession, But I assure you it's only a temporary separation until our economy turns around, which I've been assured by our national newspaper will be very soon.
How do they know?
They read it in the foreign press.
But I need help now.
And I will need it later.
With the small retainer, I could retrieve my books.
How small?
5,000.
Oh,
Smaller.
4. $1.89?
Take it or leave it.
You won't be disappointed.
oh.
Now, having been officially retained as your lawyer, I respectfully submit that if my client were to fill out a form stating that the man or woman she killed today
T/14.
was Alexander Goland, and as a qualified doctor, licensed to practice in this province, I certified Alexander Goland to have been dead for
2 months.
then I could try the case on the grounds that Miss Weberhauser couldn't have killed anyone today, because the one single and only person she did kill today has been dead for 2 months. And if today was the only day she killed someone, it follows she couldn't have killed anyone at all. Would that be an acceptable solution?
I suppose so. Yes, I believe it would be. If I'm right, which I very well could be. Or not, which is also a possibility.
Excuse me, Minister, but you sound just the slightest bit uncertain.
Well, it's very difficult to make a decision like that. In fact, any decision for that matter, without a mandate from my constituency.
How long would that take?
I don't know. I've never gotten one.
That's hard to believe. Anyone can see you're a man of great courage and foresight. A statesman without parallel. A man others turn to in times of worldwide political strife. Possibly even a contender for the prime minister seat itself.
The PM? Yes, I could be. I'd make laws. I'd appoint people. Take goodwill trips. See the Great Wall, the Wailing Wall, the Berlin Wall.
They tore that one down.
Too bad. I had a great speech for that one.
So what is your decision?
Can this man defend me?
And examine my husband.
And to be a cleric all at the same time?
Yes.
Oh, great.
I'll get the form.
And I'll get my husband.
What about the man in the street?
Well, it follows that if you only killed one person today, and your lawyer proves it was someone else, then someone else will have to be the person that killed the person in the street.
Your decision is exceptional.
Do you really think so?
Without a doubt.
It is the first one I've ever made.
It didn't show.
Thank you. By the way, what party affiliation are you? What was that?
What is it, Mrs. Goland?
They probably towed him away.
Who would tow an ice cream truck?
Under Metro's new incentive plan, every 20 tickets goes toward a bonus. And since a service tax has been levied on each of the tickets, the more tickets given, the more taxes paid. Thus allowing the government to provide its people with more free services.
But if you're using the people's money to pay for their services, then their services really aren't free.
Oh, shh, no one's figured that out yet.
Streetcars are stopping and people are coming to Mrs. Goland's aid.
Aid? Why does she need aid?
They think you've seized her husband for unpaid taxes.
Is that possible?
I don't know, but it's a thought.
There's a police officer being brought in for crowd control. Jeez! There must be 100 schoolgirls attacking him. Look at that old man swinging that umbrella. And that woman with her cane. Got him right in the...
A crowd? We can't have crowds around the ministry. Tell Mrs. What's-her-name to come right back up here, and we'll find her husband.
Come back up here, Mrs. Goland, and we'll find Mr. Goland.
You can find him, can't you?
In time? What are they doing now?
They're getting back into the streetcars and traffic is moving again. Everyone's walking away now.
Good.
Except for that woman. And she's standing over the downed officer with her foot on his chest and her arm raised, holding a cane and a clenched fist. Amazing what a cause can bring out in a person. She must be a foreigner.
So what about Mr. Goland?
The government will do everything possible to find the man, sparing no realistic expense.
It shouldn't be that difficult to find him. I mean, how many ice cream trucks are there with dead men being towed around the city?
It would be difficult to have the answer to that question at hand without a report from the Ministry of Research.
Just a ballpark estimate? One other truck with a dead man in it. 2, maybe 3.
Definitely less than 3.
That's reassuring.
Have you found him yet?
Not yet, but there's a 1 in 3 chance.
Oh, what am I to do? I cannot get benefits without a body, and I can't bury a body I can't find.
You could use the one in the street. I don't think he'll be missed.
Impossible. If he's a federal court judge, he's government property.
I have a solution.
What?
Get another body. Mine.
Yours?
But you're still alive.
Actually, I'm not.
How's that?
When I applied for unemployment last month, window washing jobs being scarce due to the unforeseen prolonged rainy season, the computer wouldn't accept my number and declared me dead.
Block, get in here.
This is very kind of you, and I hate to reject an offer which is likely to be the only one of its kind I'm ever likely to get. But wouldn't it be difficult to defend me for not killing you if you're already dead?
Oh, and burying you could be rather awkward.
I could commit suicide.
Block now.
Minister?
Yes, F792, M605, NH/401.
Right away. Are you going to commit suicide again, sir?
No, you idiot. The window washer is.
If you were going to do it first, I mean, this is your office and you certainly have first shot at it, so to speak.
I'm not planning to commit suicide. I never planned to commit suicide. I have no intention of committing suicide. Is that perfectly clear?
Yes, you, absolutely.
Good. Black, get those forms. That is, if you're still going through with it.
I don't think so.
Oh,
It probably wouldn't have worked anyway. Having to issue my own death certificate and then bring a federal suit proving that I'm still alive.
Forget the forms.
No forms. Yes, Minister.
Sorry.
that's all right. So if you're not going to commit suicide, are you dead or not?
Minister?
A question that would need to be addressed by an expert. Unfortunately, all the country's experts are out of the country giving expert advice to other countries.
What about you?
I'm not an expert on anything.
Oh.
Whoa. Oh, did you hear that?
Noise on the
Somebody's out on the balcony.
What's that? Oh, sounds like a crowd again.
Minister, do something. She's coming out. Sorry to pop in on you like this, but it was getting pretty ragged down there. Yours was the nearest refuge. Nellie Browville, at your service. And whose service is it actually that I'm at, if you don't mind my asking?
It is my office you flung yourself into, and from which you fling yourself right back out of.
And you, sir, are?
The Minister of Social Services.
Oh, Minister. My deepest apologies for my capricious and unheralded arrival. By the way, did you know there's a man lying in the street down there in a black robe with tread marks?
Oh, is anyone doing anything about him?
No, he looks like a lawyer, so they're just walking around him.
Is it the same crowd? Oh, my God, there's people down there with bats and clubs. And there's a man down there with a basket of tomatoes. Go back to your homes, all of you. You must disperse immediately. This is government property, do you hear me? You must leave at once.
Does this happen to you often?
Oh, it is impressive, isn't it?
Everybody go home.
Amazing.
Did you know there are people on the roof with flaming torches?
Oh, no.
Call the fire department and have them doused. Then turn the hoses on the crowds in the street.
That's a voting crowd.
Then just have them douse the torches and tell the concerned citizens to kindly return to their humble homes.
Right away, sir.
Politely, Block. We wouldn't want to upset the good people.
No, we wouldn't want to do that.
You say this happens to you often.
No, usually I reach the stage door before they lay siege. My timing's been off lately. Oh, apple anyone?
Oh, just what is it that you do that causes such a ruckus?
Satire, madam.
The crowds are dispersing, and the flaming torches are being doused. You can go now.
Oh, sometimes they double back.
Oh.
Best to hold up here until dark. It's all right. They won't break down the doors or incinerate the building.
Oh.
The flaming torches are mostly for show.
Go on with what you were doing. I'll be as quiet as a church mouse.
The problem is, we need a body.
Mm-hmm.
One that won't be missed, and if discovered dead, one no one would want to claim. You say ranting and hysterical, angry, armed crowds chase you often, Miss Browville?
Often, yes.
People you don't know carrying clubs and flaming torches?
Yes.
Minister?
Block F792, M605, and H/401.
What's this all about?
Have you ever considered suicide?
Only after reading my reviews.
The person I killed was much older.
And shorter. My husband was much shorter. This woman would not fit into the coffin, and I don't have the money for a new one.
What coffin?
Too bad. Forget the forms.
Why don't I just leave them on the corner of your desk, sir? That way, the next time you decide you want to commit suicide, you'll have them right here.
Who is someone committing suicide?
No! It never hurts to be prepared. I know you. I know her. You're Nellie Browville. I saw you perform at the National Arts Center last March. It was quite a sight.
Oh, you liked my performance?
All those people storming the stage. The way they ripped the seats right out of the floor.
Oh, my goodness.
The woman next to me, 90 years old if she was a day, and she had the strength to tear off a chair arm and hurl it at the curtain as you bolted into the wings.
Oh.
Ah.
It was quite a sight.
Oh, but what did you think of my performance?
Deserving of the attention.
A devotee of the theater.
Will someone please tell me what's going to be done about my husband before I go mad here?
We could sell him.
What?
It has possibilities.
What it doesn't have is Mr. Goland.
People don't have to know that.
And by calling it a service, it's taxable.
You want to sell my husband?
So you can have the money to bury him.
When they find him.
Which shouldn't take long, considering it's being handled by a government agency.
And you'll both be able to afford a substantially higher legal bill with your share of the take.
Take?
A figure of speech.
Oh,
What do I get out of all this?
You're not in all of this.
I'm here, aren't I?
Only until dark.
Oh, this is a scam you're setting up.
scam?
Figure of speech.
Again?
Oh, how about this for a figure of speech? World-renowned satirist cracks government scandal.
A scandal?
High-placed official given the boot. This and more on the 11 o'clock news.
That's blackmail.
That's right.
Exactly what percentage did you have in mind?
What would you say to 60%?
Robbery.
50.
Excuse me, but since this is all about my husband, may I say something?
What is it, Mrs. Goland?
Just how many of us are being included in this take?
4.
5.
6. Well, I am here.
A lot of people are here, but what do you do?
Yes.
You're asking what I do? He's asking what I do. Minister, tell him what I do, Minister.
Forms. He handles forms. Block is the official processor of ministry forms. That's what you do. I mean, primarily, isn't it, Block? Handle forms?
Yes.
There you see. Block is the official processor of ministry forms.
We don't have any forms.
You'll need forms.
Why?
People won't believe it's a government service without forms.
He has a point.
6 then, but I think I should get an extra share
How do you figure that?
for my husband.
He's dead.
And if he wasn't dead, there wouldn't be anything to sell.
She has a point. A full share, Miss Goland?
Just like everyone else.
But what's he going to do with it?
Get buried. Well, that's what this is all about. Well, isn't it?
Of course it is.
All right then.
Block, I get the forms.
Right. Get the forms. What forms?
The ones permitting the fundraiser, taxing the fundraiser, and taxing the fund is raising the funds for.
Right.
Now, let's get this thing started.
Okay.
How do we get this thing started?
We create a market.
A need. Oh, a desire.
Ah.
But what do they get?
Who?
The people. What do the people get that are going to give us money? They're going to want something.
I don't know. The people pay taxes, and when you ask them what they get for them, they say nothing.
I still say they're going to want something.
Nothing that costs money.
Then we'll give them something that's worth more than money.
Nothing's worth more than money.
The satisfaction of helping a poor, grieving widow.
Yes, with a simple yet neo-classic expression of melancholy, reminding them of their dear sainted grandmothers.
I'm not that old.
Mothers who went to their graves in less than the grandeur they were due, buried in the gelid, indifferent ground, without the pomp and circumstance they so justly deserved, with 6 magnificent Arabian stallions, manes flying, nostrils flaring, drawing a silver encrusted, yet simple, peasant-like cart, carrying a solid gold coffin, trumpeters at the side.
And mourners. Don't forget about mourners.
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
Thousands,
Better.
thousands of mourners following behind in silent supplication,
But why are they silent?
joyously singing hymns
Ah, much better.
as they wind their way through the streets of the city.
Streets cleared of traffic.
For a fee.
Of course.
Because Alexander Goland was a man of stature, a man known and loved by everyone, even the smallest babe, respected by all, an unrelenting leader of causes.
Causes? No, we can't have causes. There'll be picket signs, marching people, crowds. No causes.
Oh, my husband never had a cause in his life. He was a good, God-fearing man. Well, he did drink a little, but he always came home afterwards because he was a good, God-fearing man.
Yes.
Good causes, not controversial
No.
causes.
That's fine.
God-fearing causes.
God and family.
The cause of God and family.
He believed in that.
So, there it is. A man loved and respected by thousands. A church-going man who had a family.
Yes.
That sounds all right.
A man who'll be buried in the name of everyone else.
Oh.
And each man, woman, and child who couldn't afford to be buried in the manner they deserved will be buried with them.
What?
In spirit, Mrs. Goland, in spirit.
Oh.
You're not going to shove anyone else in the box with him.
Oh, thank you.
People will pay to have their dearly departed's names inscribed on expensive parchment.
Parchment? Block, get parchment.
In 24-karat gold lettering and put in the coffin with Alexander Goland.
Parchment, sir? Thousands and thousands of sheets of it.
It'll be magnificent.
Comforting.
Profitable.
Taxable.
But will it be enough to get people to give us money?
We will be affording them a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity,
Oh.
relieving them of the heavy burden that's eaten away relentlessly at their very souls.
Oh, yes.
Guilt, Mrs. Goland, is a wonderful incentive, and the alleviation of it is worth more than money can buy.
Ah. All right, then.
Let the selling of Alexander Goland begin.
Yes.
Block, where are those forms?
Do you want them on parchment
parchment too? Oh.
Parchment.
Now all we need is a body.
Yes.
A body.
What? Oh. Brock, get in here. We need you.
Minister? Minister?
My wife, she's missing.
Who are you, sir, to come bursting into my office unannounced? Can't you see my staff and I are preparing for a funeral?
I went to the police. They told me I had to come here to get forms.
The government is always profoundly sorry to hear of a missing person, especially one from their own party. What party is this missing person?
Liberal.
Come back next week.
1 minute I knew where she was, the next minute she's gone. I just don't know what.
If you lost someone, you're going to have to file a missing person report.
The Bureau of Written Requests is closed for the holiday. What holiday is it anyway?
Excuse me. Thank you for calling burial by proxy, special order line. You'll have to leave now.
I'm not leaving till I get help.
You could try to find her yourself, thus saving the government the time and money involved in a protracted investigation, possibly even triggering a tax increase for which you yourself would be held personally responsible.
But it's not.
I think you better rethink your request.
But
Next week. Come back next week. Sorry to keep you waiting. May I take your order, please?
But I have tried to find her. But everybody's getting ready for a funeral. Does everything do with a man in the street with a tread marks?
Is he still there?
I've been away for a couple of months. Is he an important person?
Yes, that's him. A humble ice cream seller. A man of little means, but much heart.
A man for all people.
In there.
A man who died too soon.
But not buried soon enough.
A man with whom people will be honored to be buried.
You gonna put people in there with him?
Perhaps you'd like to join in.
Hey, wait a minute.
They put up detour signs and the cars are just driving around him.
Thank you very much for calling. Your order will be processed immediately. Are you still here?
I'm not leaving till my wife is found.
Then perhaps while you wait, you may be interested in signing up. We have a special advance request form that you can use to bury yourself.
I'm not dead.
Symbolically speaking, of course.
If any of you think you put me in a box with some dead guy,
It doesn't appear that you're interested in our offer at this time, so if I might again ask you to leave so we can get on with government business. I have orders to take. Oh.
you have to find my wife.
Thank you for calling Buried by Proxy. May I help you?
I've watered down this paint about as much as I can. I'm going to have to go out and get...
My wife.
My God!
Your what?
You found my wife.
This woman?
Mrs. Alexander Goland.
He doesn't know her name either.
Show's over.
How can you be alive?
I'm not dead. I had a hell of a hangover, but I'm definitely not dead.
He can't be alive. You can't be alive. How can he be alive?
What the minister is saying is, how is he come to be here, living and breathing and dripping water all over his office?
Why aren't you dead?
Put another way, why aren't you dead?
Well, the last thing I remember, I was down on a couple of pints at the White Knight, feeling no pain when the fight broke out. You ever been to the White Knight? They serve a good ale on tap, and if you're a regular, they bring out the pickled eggs and don't charge you. Guys off the street get the stale peanuts, but if they know
Getting
you...
back to the reason you're not dead.
Oh, I guess my odds what saved me when a guy cracked a bottle over it. Next thing I knew, I was freezing to death. We had a sudden cold snap or something. What's wrong with my wife? You people done something to her? If I find out you people did anything.
No one's done anything to anyone, with the possible exception of...
Why is this man sitting here? Will someone please find out why this man is sitting here, breathing?
What happened after you felt cold, Mr. Goland?
Yeah, it was cold, real cold. Then from time to time it'd warm up and I'd start to move about, break the ice off my fingers. Then it'd get cold again, I'd be frozen stiff. It was the damnedest winter I can remember. You got a shower here or something? It's been a couple of months since I had one. It's starting to smell. By the way, anyone know how I got crammed into my truck? Is this one of Jim Murphy's jokes? He's always pulling things. He's here, isn't he? Hiding in a closet with a video camera. It's one of them home video shows. That's what this is, right? Where's the camera? Why are you looking at me like that?
I think she's surprised to see you. And as a matter of fact, I'd say that goes for all of us.
Why aren't you dead? Why does he keep saying that?
He's a man of few words.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I want you dead. You hear me, dead?
Don't you go ahead, he's a voter.
I know what I'm doing. Let me at him.
I'm taking my wife and getting out of here.
You can't do that.
Why not?
She's in shock.
Come on, we're getting out of here.
No!
You've done something to her. What'd you do?
All this money. I'm going to have to give back all this money.
What money? What's he talking about?
How would you feel about 16.66% of massive projected earnings?
You're talking about money.
Money, yes. Lots of it.
That's our money.
You said you were giving it to me.
Some of it, yes.
Not much.
But some.
Less than any of us.
I think it should be equal.
What are you saying?
Well, I mean, after all, it is his funeral.
I'm not.
Dead. We know. And for the moment, we don't need a call.
We already have one.
What?
We don't want you dead. We just don't want you alive.
Do you understand?
No.
People are paying a lot of money to have official certificates buried with a humble man in an excessively expensive funeral. But if they see the humble man walking around, they're going to want their money back, causing us all a great financial loss. Now do you understand?
No money.
Now, he has a way with words.
I'm not giving back this money.
What are we talking about?
Enough to buy a freezing unit that won't shut down.
Why do you keep screaming like that?
She understands the importance of keeping things frozen.
Oh,
And all I have to do is stay out of sight.
That's right.
And there's no hidden cameras anywhere.
No hidden cameras.
All right then.
Did he say he'd be dead? Is that what I heard? That he'd stay dead? Is that what you said? Dead?
A lot of money.
More than you can make selling creamsicles.
Dead. Definitely dead.
Our troubles are over.
I want to prostrate myself at the feet of a humble man.
Who is this woman? Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm a woman of great wealth who has come to realize the shallowness of a life overflowing with material goods. I realize humble burial by proxy offers everyone, old and new money alike, the opportunity to buy a page in God's book of golden deeds, to grasp the humble hand of poverty, and to join in the eternal afterlife of the oneness of all mankind. I want to buy that page.
Oh, my.
Did you bring this great wealth with you?
Take it. All I want is the opportunity to know what poverty means.
That can be arranged.
Is that it?
Viewings are on a prearranged basis.
Oh, it's just been arranged.
It was a great loss, a deep felt wound to the body of mankind.
Are you sure he was poor?
Oh, the poorest of the poor.
Broke to the bone.
Owed a pile of white night, too.
Yes, he was truly one of God's destitute.
And humble. The pamphlet said he was humble.
Humble.
Oh, good. Now, if you'll give me a minute alone with this man.
4,000, 5,000,
I don't think that will be possible.
8,000, 9,000, it's possible. 10,000, 11. Let this nice woman sit by the box.
Oh, thank you.
Stay as long as you like. All right, people, we have work to do. Thank you for calling Imperial by proxy. Special order line, may I help you? People, let's get back to work.
Where are you going?
Out to get more paint. We will not make it through the day with what we have left.
Oh, what about me? What am I supposed to do? And I should be doing something. After all, I'm the one supposed to be.
Working on that project. And Miss Bravo is going to help you with it. Aren't you going to help Mr. O'Shea with this project?
What project?
Who's O'Shea?
You are.
Oh, that project.
Oh, yeah, O'Shea, right. Am I supposed to have an accent or something?
Find a job for Mr. O'Shea out on the balcony.
Oh, it's very important that the wedges are buttoned up tightly against the wings. So we need someone with a keen eye to climb inside, all the way inside, and tighten every one of the screws.
So it's cramped in there.
Oh, cramped, yes, but with a little help, you'll fit.
I'm gonna need help getting out of here.
When the time comes, if the time comes.
There are no candles
Candles?
to light for the deceased.
We weren't actually set up for viewing, so the candles aren't here yet. They've been ordered, but they just haven't been delivered. Come back tomorrow and we'll have candles.
But I want to light a candle now.
Here's a nice one.
It's you.
Well, yes, it is, but the ones we've ordered haven't been delivered yet.
I want my money back.
No, what's she saying?
Something's wrong here. No really poor person would be buried without a candle. Give me back my money.
No.
I'm going to call the Prime Minister about this.
The PM? You can't call the PM. She can't go to the PM. I'll be thrown out of office. I'll have to get a job. I'll have to get back the money. Do something.
Oh, excuse me, madam. I couldn't help overhearing. Did you ask for a new candle to light for a poor man?
Yes, and all they gave me was
a used candle?
That's right.
But what else would you offer up to a poor man? Would a poor man know of new candles? No! This was a man who never had enough money to buy a new candle. He would go through the trash bins every week, looking for bits and chips of candles to melt down so that his family could have light at day's end. And some weeks there were no bits and chips, and they would sit in the darkness and thank God for what they did have. This, dear madam, was a man, a humble man, who knew nothing of new candles, nothing of the material chattels of your world and mine. This was a man who would feel honored to have a wealthy woman light a used candle for him. He would? Any other tribute would be an insult.
If you're sure,
I am.
give me that used candle so I can show respect for a poor man.
With pleasure.
There's a man out there demanding to know where his brother is.
Why is everyone picking today to lose someone?
Where is my brother?
He's not here. Now go away.
He didn't come home for dinner last night. His wife made his favorite dish and he didn't come home. I think he's been murdered.
Makes sense.
Did someone say murder?
That's exactly what I said. Forgive me, madam. I didn't mean to interrupt your morning. Was it a close relative?
Oh, I have to get out of here.
Not on account of me, I hope. Because if it is, I can wait to call the police.
Police? No, please. I can't be involved in a scandal.
A scandal? What scandal?
Is there a scandal?
Wait a minute.
Keep your candle. I wasn't here.
I hope she didn't leave on account of me. Say, isn't this a strange place for a coffin?
Your brother's not here. Now go away.
Wait a minute. You look familiar.
A lot of people say that.
No, I mean very familiar. Don't you all think this man looks familiar?
There is something around the eyes. I can see it too, but I just don't quite place that face.
Oh, it's not so much the face as it is the quality of the voice.
Oh, why is everyone standing around looking at this man when we have work to do? Give the police a picture of your brother and they'll find him.
I didn't bring one.
Well, then how do you expect us to find him if we don't know what he looks like?
We're twins.
Get this nutcase out of here.
Wait, someone must know him. He works here.
Your brother works in the ministry?
That's right. Only he never talked about it. So we figured he was a spy.
Oh, of course.
Maybe.
No.
Traveling to distant places. To be passed a microchip by an M5 operative. Over a cognac. In a sidewalk cafe. At the foot of the Spanish Steps. Or on the left bank. Surrounded by the KGB on one side and the CIA on the other. With an Interpol agent leaning against a lamppost, a galloy clinging to his lower lip, a smoky haze engulfing his features.
Our country does not have spies. We're too polite for that. We leave that sort of thing to our neighboring country. Besides, if we did it ourselves, we'd have to pay for it.
Excuse me, sir, but did you say you and your brother are twins?
Yes,
Identical or the other kind?
identical.
You know, we've all been so uncaring about this poor man's plight. I think we should help him find his brother and not let him out of our sight until we do.
I'm trying to get him to leave, and you're keeping him here.
This matter is very important. More important than anything else we could possibly be doing.
Thank you.
Have you lost your mind?
A man's brother has been lost, and we're going to stop what we're doing and find him.
We are?
Yes, we are, because every person is part of the fabric of the universe.
A fabric which is about to unravel at any minute.
If we don't do something immediately.
Exactly.
Have you all lost your minds?
To recap, your brother is a man who does an important job in the ministry. Possibly for an important person in the ministry.
Possibly.
And today your brother's not at work?
Yes.
Does any of this ring a bell, minister?
I've got it! Your brother's the one that's
Missing! And we're going to find him, aren't we?
Oh, my God.
That's right. And now that we all realize how important this is, we're going to drop everything.
Everything, yes, everything.
Everything we're doing and find him, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Certainly.
Right away.
I can't tell you how much I thank you all.
Who are you calling?
The police.
Why? The police know you're here?
I called them before I came,
Uh-oh.
and they said to call them back if I didn't find my brother.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, my God, no.
No.
No, you don't need the police.
Oh.
Because we're going to find your brother.
Oh.
And I'm very thankful for that. But I still don't know where he is.
A minor point.
I'd better call him.
Why?
Why not?
Well, I'll tell you why not. You don't want to call the police because
They only make you wait endlessly in a windowless station with no ventilation, on a long, hard bench between murderers and muggers. Yes, until some overworked officer gets round to your missing brother, one of many brothers missing all over the province, where, on the other hand, we're willing to drop what we're doing to help you right now, putting this air-conditioned, well-lit office completely at your disposal to find your brother. A brother we feel very close to.
You do?
Closer than you'll ever know.
I don't know what to say. I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you're doing for me.
Oh, well, think nothing of it. And we do guarantee that you will be with your brother sooner than you think.
Again, I don't know what to say.
Why don't you sit down and make yourself comfortable? Maybe you'd like to look over one of our brochures. We have a special family plan that might interest you.
It'll be no time at all before one of the calls the minister makes turns up your brother.
Calls?
To someone?
To someone, yes. Right away. Hello, this is the Minister of Social Services. I would like to speak to the Prime Minister immediately.
The PM himself?
It'll be no time at all now.
Hello, Mr. Prime Minister. There's an urgent matter at hand. A man of great importance is missing. Your name, sir?
Block. Walter Block.
Walter Block's brother. Yes, Mr. Prime Minister. The Walter Block.
The Prime Minister knows me?
The Prime Minister knows everything.
I didn't know that.
We'd appreciate any help you can offer, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you. I'll relay that to Mr. Block. Goodbye, Mr. Prime Minister. That was the Prime Minister. He wants you to know that he's going to look into the matter personally.
I don't know what to say.
It's the least we can do. Now, in the meantime, I see you've been looking over one of our brochures.
The family plan.
Good choice.
Good choice.
Say, is this the famous, humble Alexander Goland mentioned?
Somebody call me.
Who's that?
A carpenter. His name's Alexander Goland too, but we call him O'Shea. It makes it less confusing.
Isn't that right? Mr. O'Shea.
All right, O'Shea, yes.
How can there be two people named Alexander Goland
Actually, it's an extremely common name.
in the same room?
I can assure you, the Alexander Goland here is the real McCoy. The one under the riser is merely an ordinary Alexander Goland, one you'd find any day in any town across the country.
It's still strange having the dead Alexander Goland being right here. Why isn't he in a funeral parlor?
The level of security is higher here.
Yes.
Security? From what?
Terrorists!
He's already dead.
Hostage taking is always a possibility.
Who'd want a dead man?
Oh, Alexander Goland was more than a dead person. He is a national symbol, a thin thread of hope for the downtrodden.
But to keep him here, with you, in the same room.
We find it comforting.
To know where he is.
It's not as if he's going anywhere.
No, not anymore.
There's something odd going on here.
I can assure you, nothing is going on here.
Merely the burial of a humble man.
I want to see him. Why is she screaming?
It's her husband, and she's a little on edge.
I insist on seeing him.
Oh, it's not a pretty sight.
So he froze to death.
That would preserve him.
There was toxic waste in the water.
You're hiding something in here you don't want people to see.
Not at all.
The people have a right to know.
And trust us, you don't want to see. The sight is too horrible to imagine.
His wife wouldn't even look.
I want to see him. Stop him! What's in here?
Hold it! This is the brother of a government employee, and he's entitled to a private viewing of the deceased.
What are you saying?
As a special favor?
Because we don't want him to think we're hiding anything, which of course we aren't, right, Minister?
That's right. And since he is the brother of one of our most valued government employees, he's entitled to special treatment.
So go right ahead and lift the lid.
Are you sure there's no other way?
And no, Mrs. Goland, there's no other way to show how we respect the family of a government employee.
It's not that I don't trust you all.
We understand that.
Oh, you get a better view if you move a little to the left.
Like this?
Well, that's perfect.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Then give Mr. Block his special treatment.
My God, you found my brother!
Is he dead?
Unfortunately not. The dead are easier to get rid of than the merely passed out.
Then what are we going to do with him? We can't just stuff him in the casket with Block. He won't fit.
And we can't let him come to.
We could stuff him in the truck if we only knew where the truck was.
Of course.
Mr. Goland, can you hear me?
72 so far.
Oh, that's good, Mr. Goland. But we need to know where your ice cream truck is.
2 blocks away, corner of Linden and 2nd. Cody's 24-hour emergency towing garage. Hey, if you're going down there, would you check on my popsicles?
First thing.
Thanks. You want me to keep working?
Until everyone is tightened.
Okay.
How are we going to get him to the truck? We can't just walk down the street with a body. Someone's bound to notice.
Not necessarily.
And what if he defrosts? We'll be worse off then than we are now.
Oh, but if you charge it up real good, it'll last all day. But be careful. Don't get the red wire wet. That's real important.
I think there'll be room for 2.
I'll get the other end.
Oh, I've got him.
Mrs. Goland, I
Yes.
think you'd better come along. I don't want to cross any wires and wind up in a puddle of baked Alaska.
Right? This would be easier if I were taller.
Mrs. Goland, get the door.
Be careful.
Oh, everything's going to be all right.
Watch it.
Then why do I have this feeling of doom?
368 screws. Hello?
Can't we just leave him where he's at?
I'm finished.
I don't think so.
Pity.
Hey, you gonna get me out of here or what?
Right away, Mr. Goland. And you get the other foot.
Actually, give me the choice. I'd rather leave him right where he's at.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh!
There's a dead man being dragged down the hall. There's another one.
Madam, what are you doing back here? And why do you look like that?
And the man in the street. Why are all these dead people here? Is there going to be a mass burial of humble people?
Have you been in an accident?
I was trapped by the crowds.
What crowds?
The ones out there. They blocked off the entire north end, and they're heading into the city.
No, not crowds again.
When you say crowds, what exactly do you mean?
Thousands of people. Men, women, and children approaching from all directions. They're swarming onto the sidewalks and into the streets, chanting Goland, Goland, over and over. That's what I mean by crowds.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Did you say Goland?
Is this a running crowd or a walking crowd?
What difference does that make? The important word here is crowd.
It makes a lot of difference if they're armed.
Armed?
Are they armed, madam?
Excuse me.
Flaming torches and clubs.
Excuse me, but...
They're not carrying weapons, just banners and offerings.
Offerings?
Hello?
Some with goats, others have baskets of fruit, and some are just waving fistfuls of money.
Money?
Yes, money.
Fistfuls?
Fistfuls, yes.
And they're coming here?
Did you say they're calling my name?
Who are you?
Alexander Goland.
Risen from the dead?
You're not the Alexander Goland. he's just a carpenter.
He was a carpenter.
Not that carpenter. A different carpenter. A part-time carpenter. Actually, he's a ministry employee who likes to work with his hands. Isn't that right?
What?
He's a little hard of hearing, all that hammering. You're a carpenter who has the same name as Alexander Goland.
Oh, yeah.
How odd.
As a matter of fact, we call him O'Shea so we won't confuse him with the real Alexander Goland.
They're getting closer.
Will there be photographers? This is a riot, not a photo opportunity.
Riot, yeah.
Not here.
Not here, good. What about him? And all these certificates.
Oh.
Half of them aren't even lettered yet.
Right. We gotta stuff all this in the box.
Is something happening here?
Simply late certificates being placed.
Well, what about my certificate? What about my certificate?
Yours was one of the first to be put in the coffin.
Well, how can I be sure there are thousands of others here? Mine could be under that pile or that one over there.
Don't forget the one over there.
I got him.
It's those of lesser stations that are being put in the coffin now. Isn't that right?
Sure. Don't forget the ones on the chair over there.
I got him.
You see, you have my assistant's personal assurance.
I wouldn't want to lose the opportunity to buy that page.
You have your government's word on it.
Just in time.
Oh my God. Even I've never seen a crowd like that.
There are thousands and thousands of people out there.
Yes, with money.
What?
Fistfuls of money waving it around as offerings.
I don't know anything about money, but there's lots of people with chickens, lots and lots of chickens.
Chickens?
Something to do with the grassroots rebellion against the chicken and egg pricing board.
These people broke into the chicken ranches across the province and took hundreds of thousands of chickens hostage to force down prices. And when the crowd amassing for Alexander Goland's funeral started moving on the city, all those people with armloads of chickens got caught in the middle.
But what about the money?
You get caught in the crowds too.
I was trapped on the north end.
Someone answer me.
They've taken over the entire city. The streets are packed with thousands of chanting people and clucking chickens.
Well, some of them must have money.
Cheese, will you look at that?
What is it?
It's
John,
like
right at home.
selling cotton candy and tiny toy coffins. People are cheering and waving flags. I could make a killing if I had my truck. I'll bet you every school kid in the city's down there.
Are they armed?
They're starting to cheer in waves. You're going to have to do something, Minister. The momentum is building.
I'm not good with crowds.
Oh, come on, it's going to give it.
And you've got to go out there and talk to them.
What do I say?
Something that'll keep them down there.
There's a man rappelling off the roof. Oh no, he fell.
Is he dead?
No, the chicken broke his fall. Feathers fly.
Oh, give it a minute.
Perhaps one of you should talk to them.
I can't get involved.
You have crowds around you all the time.
If I let go of this door, you will have a crowd around you.
It's you they want to hear, Minister.
But I don't know what to say.
Say something, say anything, just say fast. Come here, hold the hand, will you, madam? I think it's starting to give way. The wood's starting to spin around the kitchen.
Think of it as a crowd of voters.
Voters? Yes, of course. Can you tell me if they're conservatives?
Get out there and talk to them.
There's still time to call the fire department and have them doused.
Talk to them now.
Yes, now, yes.
Go back outside. The minister's going to speak. Go outside so you can hear the minister speak.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think they can hear me.
Use this.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Minister of Social Services addressing you. I want to thank all of you for your support in your government's effort to address the issue of individual dignity in death. How am I doing?
Great. Keep going.
No longer will people have to be buried without the pomp and circumstance they so truly deserve. From now on, anyone who wants can have a burial beyond their means. Another free service offered to the fine people of this government by your government. Yours free, with all the other wonderful free services your taxes pay for. And so, in closing, I want you to know that your government is a caring government. A government that is close to you, not only in the governmental sense, but in the real sense. To all of you, no matter how rich or poor you are, no matter if your offering today is a fistful of money or merely a chicken, we appreciate you and are right there with you, reaching out to you as
Minister, you're too close to the edge.
What now? Wow, look at that.
He's just sailing through the air.
Oh, shame he missed the chicken.
Oh, the people are still cheering for him.
What's that woman over there shouting? The one standing on top of the man with the tread marks.
It sounds like long live the minister.
There's a man over there setting off fireworks.
They'll probably name a holiday after him.
At least we'll know what that one's for. Oh, I think this might be an opportune moment to make our exit.
I agree.
Oh, they're chanting again.
It's starting to get nastier. There. I think we missed our window of opportunity.
Talk to them.
Me?
You're the only humble person up here. A man for all people. The new minister.
Oh, my husband.
I thought Alexander Goland was your husband.
Oh, he is.
I'm confused.
A little pass.
Right this way, Mr. Minister. It's time for you to meet the people.
Well, what do I say to him?
Whatever comes naturally.
Hello down there. I'm an humble man. A man for all people. And I'd like to thank you all for coming here today in support of another free service given to you, the fine people of this country, by your government. Along with all the other wonderful free services your taxes provide,
There's something familiar about that.
including a tax-deferred Burial a Month Club available to all citizens in every province across the country.
That has possibilities.
But where are we going to get all the bodies? They're not just going to walk in here by themselves.
You'll never believe where I was.